Brad Williams, XL Prime. Quickest and fastest way to print your data is to hit Control P on your mouse. Using your mouse, hit Control P. The second is to use the Quick Access Toolbar. That's the tool up top in the green above your ribbon. What you do is if you don't have it set up, just hit the down button up in the Quick Access Toolbar section. Go to more commands, go to popular commands, hit print of any type. There's a series of prints, or you can go to the popular commands, hit file tab, print preview, background. You can hit print preview. Any of this information here, just highlight and then add it over to your right side. So if we want to print, you just hit add, you hit OK, and now we have a print icon up here. And to print this data, just hit print. Another way to print your data is to just go up to the ribbon, hit file, print, and then you'll have all of your options here. And the last way to print, the fourth way to print is to designate a range within your spreadsheet. Go to page layout, print area, set print area, then hit Control P, and you can set this up however you want to print the data. Now, before printing, the layout of your spreadsheet determines the layout here shows a huge column in section B. See, there's additional information over starting in row A8, and it extends all the way to E8 with a range down to 31. To get an idea of what this looks like, a preview of this information, you can change the layout of your print. What you do is you go to View in the ribbon, Workbook Views, and you can take a look to see the layout of a print layout. And it has a lot to do with the margin. In other words, the page width and the page length. We typically work by an 8x11 sheet. So take a look here at the page break preview. You can see the layout. This is a predetermined layout by Excel, and it's showing here in A1 to A5. That would be page 1. Page 2 would be the section B and text. And then you can see thereafter, you're asking, why is it set up that way? Well, earlier we went to File, Home, we went to Page Layout, Print Area, and we set the print area. So let's clear print area. See that there are 3 sections here. This is a print preview. So if you hit print right now, it's only going to print the A column from A to A30. Why? Because there's a width concern here, and you can configure this. So let me just give you an idea of what I'm talking about here. If I were to take this width of text and I narrowed this down, you can now see I just squeezed everything in to fit within these parameters. Now, to try to get all of the text data to squeeze in there, you'll have to go back to Home, Wrap Text again, and you can see what happens. We get all of the text, but then it extends the print area. Why is this? Well, because we're working with a page, and a page only has certain dimensions, and you have to squeeze your information into whatever the page size is. A couple other things you can figure your print area is you can adjust the margins of a page. We'll go to Page Layout, we'll go to Margins, and if you want to change or reconfigure the margins, go to Custom Margins, and here we have a setup, and then the margins, you're going to see the page layout, the margins layout, the header, and the sheet. And what we have here, we have a top margin of 0.75, a left margin of 0.7, a right margin, and a bottom margin. We also have footers. And what does that mean? That means at the top, 3/4 of an inch, the height is narrowed down, and the bottom is narrowed down. So there's going to be 3/4 of an inch above 7.1, and there's going to be 3/4 of an inch below as margin. Now on the right, you're going to see 0.7 of an inch on both sides. If you want to shrink your margins, just click this down to 0. And if this is just a utility page, you can get rid of all of your margins. And now you're going to have more print area. If you notice, if we increase the margin size, keep a look here at this blue layout, and we just shrunk the margins, and let's hit OK. And now we have a lot more print area. If this is just a utility page and just something that you're going to throw away, you can shrink your margins. Otherwise, go to margins and hit normal margins, and you're going to have, what does that mean? Go to margins, go to custom margins, and you can see it defaulted back to the 0.75, 0.75. Now, if you want to customize the print, let's just say you want to break this print line, this blue line here, you want to break that and say, I want the print line for page 1 just at the end at row 6. Go up to page layout, go to page breaks, insert page break, and then critical thing here is to put in your parameters beforehand. So in other words, if you're going to insert a page break, make sure your active cell just above where that page break, where you want to insert that page break, go back to page breaks, remove break, and now insert break, so page breaks, insert break, and now you can see where the print area is. So now you have page 5, page 4, page 1, and that's not what you want. Setting up page breaks can be kind of a pain in the butt, insert page breaks. So we removed all the page breaks. Let's just highlight the entire row, hit breaks, insert page break, and now you'll see where the page break is. If you don't want the page break at this particular location, it stopped at row 5. Go back up to page breaks, reset, go down 1 row, highlight the entire row, go back to page breaks, insert page breaks. And now if you hit the print button, you're going to hit print page 1 here, and you're going to hit page break. You're going to hit page 2 just below. And just a comment, you still have full access to the ribbon, and you can make changes here as you want. You can remove all of this stuff. Just hit Control Z, 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 and we can back out of this whole thing if you want. As I point out, the page break is a great feature. The page setup is a great feature. The print area, another feature you can incorporate. Just a lot of tools available for printing. Now let me discuss a few of the variations within the print area. If we go to File, Print, we have all of the different print configurations. Now, if we want to make some adjustments, we have a lot of capabilities. What we just looked at is this data here. What we can preset are the number of copies, printer to use, what to print, pages to print, specific worksheet print area, 1 side or 2 side, collated, orientation, page size. You can adjust the margins, specify repeating rows or columns, set print scaling, print or hide grid lines, print or hide row and column headings, specify the first page number, center output on page, specify header, footers, and options, specify how to print cell comments, specify page order, specify black and white output, specify how to print error cells, and launch printer properties dialog box. Wow, that's a lot of information. Well, you can preset some of this stuff. You can capture a lot of this stuff by going to File, Print. You can also print this in PDF format. Just go to Microsoft Print to PDF. See Microsoft Print to PDF. If your computer and printer are set up and you have fax, you can set it to fax. If you have multiple printers, you can add a printer. You can remove a printer by going to Add Printer and whatever your presets are. And finally, you can print to file. That means if you print to a thumb drive and you have a specific file name, you can print there. Otherwise, print active sheets. If you have multiple sheets, you can print entire workbook, print selections. Or if you go here, you can define what pages you want. Let's say you have 40 pages in this particular print sector, and you only want to print 1 and 3, hit 1, and then go to page 3, and you're set. If you want collated, you can set up your collation. If you want print orientation, if you want a traditional portrait, you also have a landscape. You have multiple options on print size. Here you have letter, tabloid, and customize this anything you want. Go to letter, you have tabloid legal statement A3 in this dialog box, and then you can scroll down. And this is envelope size 4x6 index cards, 5x8 index cards, and other options. Just review your setup. You can also go and adjust your margins here within this dialog box. You can set up headers and footers, and we'll talk about that in a minute. You can format your sheet, print grid lines, print black and white, graph quality, row and column headings. You can put comments. You can put cell errors. You can change your rows to repeat at top, columns to repeat at left. Check your print area, predefine this. So if I want to set this up, predefine your print area, you can check your page order. And you have additional options here in the dialog box in the far bottom. Options, if you want a portrait or a landscape, you have that option here. We'll stick with portrait, go to advanced, then you can change your paper size here. We just talked about this option here, and you can copy count. You can adjust that to however many copies you want. Cancel. We're going to close out of this. We'll go to margins. Here again, this is on the ribbon, but also available here on this print page. Over to the right, you're going to see a print preview. And if there are multiple pages, you'll have that print preview capability. And no scaling, you have that option also. You also have page setup, which we just went through. Otherwise, simply just hit print and number of copies, and you're good to go. Brad Williams, XL Prime. Thanks for watching.